Hello everybody, welcome back. Before we start, I want to let you know that I don't make anything on my videos from YouTube. So, if you do like my content, please consider supporting me via Patreon. I have lots more new stories and videos on the way, some of which will only be available to those who support me there. My Patreon link is below this video in the description. You can also send a super thanks if you like the story and want to support me to make more stories like this. The super thanks button is below this video. Also, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And hit the bell icon if you would like to get updates on my new videos, and leave a comment or ask me a question, and I promise to reply as soon as I can. Thank you, and now back to the video. Today we have the first part of a new story. It follows a boy who grew up to become a girl. We follow David on his journey into womanhood, with some help from his friend Natasha. This story is called How I Became a Woman, Part 1. I hope you like it. My name is David, I am 20 years old and I live in Las Vegas. I have always been small for a man, standing at 5 foot and 4 inches tall and weighing around 50 kilograms. When growing up, I was always teased, as I was always the smallest boy in my class. I hated it and always wished I could grow bigger. That was until I was 17 when I discovered girls' clothes. Yes, it turns out I am a crossdresser. I just love dressing up, with the makeup, hair, dresses, and high heels. I grew my dark brown hair out past my shoulders and wore it in a ponytail so when I dress I can use my own hair. I make a fairly passable girl, although my makeup skills suck and my collection of makeup and clothing is small. I rent a small apartment where I live alone, which gives me lots of private time to dress up. But I had never gone out in public as my clothing is all secondhand and really doesn't look all that great. I had only been in the apartment about 2 weeks when I first met Natasha. She lived right across the hallway from me. She was a gorgeous, 22-year-old 5 foot and 5 inches tall woman with long blonde hair. Just the kind of girl I would love to date. And if I thought she would go out with me, I would try my best to stop dressing. But she could have any man she wanted, and anyway I knew she was way out of my league. She worked at the Paris Hotel Casino as a cocktail waitress. We would occasionally meet up in the hallway and talk about many different things. Over time we built up a friendship and she would invite me to come over to her apartment to hang out from time to time. About a year ago, she was going on vacation and asked me if I would be able to water her plants and look after her apartment while she was away. She gave me the key to her apartment and I promised I would look after her place until she returned. So while she was gone, I would go over to water her plants, take in her mail, and make sure everything was okay. I did this for the first few days, but around the 3rd day, I started to think about a sexy black dress I had seen her wearing a week before. I don't know why, but I got this urge to go into her bedroom and look into her closet. She had so many beautiful clothes, and as we were about the same size, I could not resist trying on something. I saw the dress I had been thinking about and started trying it on. It felt so good and it fit me perfectly. Now I know this was wrong, but I couldn't help myself. The whole week she was gone, I spent most of my time over there and tried on a lot of her stuff and wished I could have such beautiful clothing like her. After she returned from her vacation, she said I could keep the key and that the next time she was away she knew that she could trust me to take care of her place. I was very happy, but I couldn't stop thinking about all the beautiful clothes she had. I wondered when she would go on vacation and when I could dress up in all those lovely dresses again. It was about 2 months later when I couldn't resist it anymore. She was working the late shift at the casino, and I know this was wrong, but I went over to her apartment and tried on a couple of her dresses. I started doing this more and more, to the point where I was going over there almost every night she went to work. I saw no harm in it, even though I knew she would be mad if she found out. Her stuff was so much more beautiful than the things I had bought, and I was always careful to leave the clothes the way I found them. Well, everything was going great till about a month later. Natasha invited me over to her apartment for dinner and to ask me a favor. I was hoping she was going on vacation again, as I would have way more time and not have to worry she would come home early. When I got to her place and she invited me in, the food she was preparing smelled so wonderful. She asked me to sit down at the table and told me she wanted to talk. She started to smile at me in a way I had never seen her do before. "I want to show you something," she said. Then she picked up her laptop computer and turned it towards me. She looked at me and said, "I forgot to turn my laptop off a few weeks ago, and my webcam caught something." I looked in terror as I saw myself in her bedroom trying on her clothes. She didn't seem angry and in fact looked like she was enjoying this. So I started leaving my computer on, and now I have many videos of you trying on my clothes. I was really scared. I started to apologize, knowing we were done as friends. Then she leaned forward and said, "I am mad at you, but not because you were trying on my clothes, but because you did it without asking me first." I looked up at her and she smiled. "Please tell me why you did this." Then I told her about my cross-dressing habits and that the clothes I have are all second-hand. They don't look good, and I just couldn't control myself when I saw all her beautiful clothes. She smiled at me and gave me a big hug. "I guess if you like to wear pretty clothes, that's okay," she said. "I don't mind you borrowing some of my stuff. But you must ask me first before you do." I was shocked, but at the same time so very happy. I said thank you for being so understanding. Then she smiled at me again and said, "We have about an hour till dinner is ready, so why don't we go pick out a nice dress for you to wear?" Then she grabbed my hand, led me into her bedroom and over to her closet. Thank you for listening to my story. If you like my content, please consider supporting me via my Patreon. The link is below this video in the description. Also, if you like my stories, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And hit the bell icon if you would like to get updates on my new videos, and leave a comment or ask me a question, and I promise to reply as soon as I can. Thank you, and until next time, goodbye.